Okay, there we go. So, this is the first ever YouTube Live that I've run. Now, there's a couple of reasons that this is the first YouTube Live. The main reason this is my first one is because this is a new channel, let's say. So, my main business and my main channel is my off-grid solar business. That's what I've been doing for about the last 15 years. I've only been active on social probably the last 12 to 18 months while I've been trying to figure out. I've had stuff on there prior, but wasn't actively trying to do anything with social media because I was a off-grid solar guy and I'm an electrician, and I wasn't really trying to, or didn't really understand the value of social media in I guess, a trade-based world. And so I didn't do much with it. This channel, the Simon L. Gibbs, is me actually, after 15 years, figuring out that I can actually help quite a lot of people if I take what I've learned over the last 15 years, especially what I've learned over the last 5, specifically related to how to run business, and help other people who are coming along behind me who could do to avoid some of the very nasty pitfalls that I experienced in business. Now, I think if you look at anybody who does any form of business coaching, if they're any good at it, they're coming from a really good heart, trying to help other people avoid the misfortunes that they went through. And so that is exactly why I have set this channel up, why I am putting so much effort into creating content around business and trying to give back to the community at large and to help people who are coming up. Because if those of us who have learnt skills and those of us who have information we can share to help others don't, I believe there is going to be a lot of really good ideas that can create a lot of good in the world that are locked up in the hands and minds of people who don't know how to get it out. They don't know how to turn it into a business. They could be phenomenally amazing at making some huge changes in the world, but they just don't have the resources to know how to actually get there. So I hope I can be part of that solution to help bring some dreams and ideas to life. So that being said, that's why the business stuff that I'm doing is here. And if you're here or you're watching this, then I don't actually have a plan of what I'm going to talk about tonight. This is purely a test for me to see how to run a YouTube Live on this channel, making sure that I had everything, everything that I needed to get set up from YouTube's side, that it was actually going to launch, it was actually going to run, that it's actually going to record. I want to see the video quality. I want to see the audio quality, because that real world information is going to allow me to make adjustments and create better videos, better content, and know what I'm doing next time round. So enjoy this bit of a mess that I'm going to put forward today as my very first YouTube Live with this channel. Now, I've done lives before. I've done lives with Instagram. I've done lives with Facebook. Not a lot, but I've done a few. Most of what I put out is actually pre-recorded, edited. The team will do some work, make it look a bit prettier, take out some of the not so flash points, and then they'll put the edits up, and we get a bit better, I guess, quality of work across to you. Anyway, let me dive into a couple of business concepts that I think people need to understand if you don't already. Number one, that I think everybody has heard, and if you don't understand the context, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. It didn't for me anyway. That is the idea of mindset. And so many people talk about mindset, and we have it's still something that doesn't sit right with me, but like mindset coaches. Now, I now understand what they do and why they're there, and they're actually very, very useful. However, I didn't used to understand that. I didn't used to comprehend it. Now, let me just check notifications popping up. Close that. See, figuring out as I go along here. So mindset. So what is mindset other than a weird word that doesn't seem to make any sense for what we do in our modern world, modern businesses? Mindset's simply a fancy way of saying the way that you think. Now, the way that you think through anything and everything dictates so much about your world. And I mean so much. If you come to a problem and you have a stress reaction to it, oh no, oh, what am I going to do? And you freak out, you just lost focus on whatever it was you were trying to achieve. The stress now becomes overwhelming, and that's now all you're focused on. So you're going to lose time, you're going to lose efficiency, you're going to lose that focus of trying to solve whatever problem it was. And so what do you do with that? So if you're someone that stresses out a lot, there are a couple of things you can do. Exposure therapy is one. Put yourself under a ton of stress more often and you'll get used to it. That's exactly what exposure therapy is. Just get used to that, whatever it is, get exposed to it more, and you become more comfortable with it. Most times we freak out because of unknowns. The other thing is to deal with the mindset, your mind of how you work through that problem. Now, you can have an initial reaction to something and that be that momentary freak out. But if you have learned, oh, when I do that, that's unproductive and I shouldn't do that, I have a process that I have taught myself that I can go through and calm myself down. And that may be something like this. You go, I'm freaking out about this thing. Okay, hang on. I'm going to stop. I have to write the problem down on a piece of paper. What is it that I'm worried about? What is the problem? And then I'm going to go, okay, is it something that I can fix or is it something outside of my control? Which one of the two is it? And write it down. The reason I say write it down, it's a really good technique because as you write it down, it takes time and it will calm and slow your mind down as you write out that technique. It'll calm your mind down as you write out the problem. And then you're going to write out whether I can solve this problem or I have no control over this problem. If you have no control over it, once you write underneath that, I have no control over this. Therefore, I'm not going to let it affect me. That's it. Screw the piece of paper up, throw it away. That's something that exists in the world, but you have no control over it. So whether you stress or not, it's irrelevant. You can't do anything about it. If it is something that you can do something about, then you're going to write down, as is a great technique I learned from a business coach, identify the problem, write out 3 viable options that you have on how you could fix it. All right. I'll give you an example. I went through this over the last couple of days. We had a few big projects come in the off-grid solar business. That was great. They all pushed back to a bit later start date, which left me with a cash flow issue I was trying to solve in the short term. And I was like, oh, that's such a headache. That's going to mean that's not going to happen on time. I'm going to have to push that back. That's not great. And I went into a bit of panic. And then I went, hold up. What could I do to fix this? Is there anything in my power that I can control about this? I can't control that the clients decided to push their jobs back. That's what suited them best, and we're here for them. Okay, what can I do? Let me dig into it. Oh, that's what I can do. I can actually go and take the contacts list of our leads that we've got in the business, and I can see which ones I can follow up with. I can reach out to leads that we've had come in that I think are good fits and create more one-on-one connection, get into a conversation, see if we can move projects along, see who else we can help. And what do you know? Within 2 days, we managed to pull in nearly $50,000 worth of work just by making some phone calls to a lead list we already had. And you may not be in that position. You may not have the resources I'm talking about, but you'll have something in your world you can work with. You just need to go through the same process. Business, in its simplest form, is a series of processes. And so you work through the process of, can I control it or can I do anything about it? If I can, what are 3 viable options? And of those 3 viable options I've written down, which one is the most viable? Which one's the best of those 3 options? Circle that and go do something about it. Go implement it. If it's make phone calls, then make phone calls. If it's send DMs on social, go do that. Whatever your thing is that you have to do that's going to fix your problem, just go take action. But that first part of the process is going to allow you to calm your mind, identify the problem, come up with actual solutions that you can implement, and then pick the best one and then go put your effort into that rather than into stress. For what it's worth, I hope that is a useful business technique for you. Look, it applies to other areas of life as well, but I'm talking specifically business. And I'm going to end this live. Hopefully that's been a useful little tidbit. I'm going to go to sleep because even though I've managed to get my business from a failing, crumbling mess to where it is now, I still have business coaches. And you may tell by the accent, I'm in Australia. However, both of the current coaches I work with are US based. Just the way connections and relationships develop, that's where I've found some really great value. But it means that I need to be up at 3:30 in the morning. It is currently nearly 10 p.m. So I'm going to log off. I'm going to go get some sleep and be up at 3:30 for a 4 a.m. start for a coaching call, because no matter how successful you want to be, there is always going to be somebody further ahead than you. And you need to find somebody who is further ahead than you if you want to fast track your business growth. Don't think you're going to do it on your own and just stumble into success. You're going to need a guide. You're going to need training. You're going to need coaching to get there. Otherwise, you have to make all the same mistakes that those people have made just to get to their starting point. So it's definitely worth getting some advice, getting some coaching, and fast tracking as much of that process as you can. All right, take care. I'm out. I'll see you later.